Welcome back, and in a previous video we dealt on dimensions and notations of matrix, and we saw that A in itself is as can be A11, A12, A13 down to A33, and the rows, we have the rows, and likewise we have the columns. And we know that the dimensions of matrix follows the m by n principle. Okay, m by n principle, where m is the number of rows, okay, and n is the number of columns. Now we are going to take examples on dimensions and notations, so squeeze everything in together to avoid the video being too long. So now we have 6 questions. I'll solve the first 3. You can pause the video and solve the remaining 3. So I'll solve 1, 2, 3. You can pause the video right away and solve 5, 4, 5, 6, or you can even pause the video right now and give it a try. So let's look at the dimensions of ABC PQX. ABC PQX. Now A has how many rows? Once we look at the dimensions, so we can count the number of rows, we also count the number of columns. These are the rows and these are the columns. So A has row 1 and row 2. This has column 1 and likewise column 2. So we can say that the dimension of the matrix is simply 2 by 2 matrix. Alright, let's move on to B. B has how many rows? B has how many columns? B has 1, 2 rows, okay, and just a single column. 1 row, row 1, that's row 2, and just a single column. So we can say that B is a matrix of 2 by 1. And moving on to C now, how many rows does it have? How many columns? So we can just see that this one does have a single row, and likewise it has maybe 2 columns, column 1 and column 2. So we can see that this is column row 1 by 2 matrix. So this is quite interesting, and we can say that though they have the same element 2 and 1, okay, 2 and 1, but they are not of the same dimension. So this is 2 by 1 matrix and this is 1 by 2 matrix, 2 different things. So you can pause the video right away now and try for 4, 5 and 6. Okay, I believe you paused the video. Okay, so let's try evaluating for P now. So this is how many rows, how many columns? Row number 1, row number 2, row number 3, and column number 1, column number 2. So we can conclude that this is a 3 by 2 matrix, right? 3 rows and 3 columns. And in the same vein, let's do for Q, and we have that Q has how many rows? Just row number 1, row number 2, just 2 rows, and this has how many columns? Column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, and column number 4. So in the same vein, this is going to give us a 2 by 4 matrix. All right, rows by column. And finally for X, row number 1, row number 2, okay, and row number 3, and just column number 1. So it has 3 rows and 1 column. So this will give us a 3 by 1 matrix. So we can say now that this is just a 3 by 1 matrix, and we can be able to evaluate the dimensions of matrix. Now let's move on to the notations. Let's go back to question number 1, and we have A is equals to 2, 5, 7 minus 1, and we are asked to evaluate, okay, in the way all this is all arranged, what is the element A11 and what is the element A21? Now A11 is the element in row 1, column 1, because we dealt this in the last video where we say Aij, where I is the number of rows, J is the column number. So elements in row 1, column 1. So this is row 1 and this is column 1. So the answer here is 2. And now A21, it says the element in the second row and in the first column. So the second row is here. All right, this is the second row, and the first column, we are still on column 1, and this is row 2. So the answer here is 7. All right, so let's try something. Give me the element number of A22 and also A12. All right, so pause the video and give it a try. A12 is simply 5, okay, because it is in row 1, okay, column 2, and A22 is in row 2, column 2. All right, so with that done, let's take one more or two more as time permits us. Let's look at P, which is 640123. 640123. P is equals to 640123. And now the reverse is the case. Now we are now saying that the element 3, or yes, the element 3 can be stated as what? Is it A11, A12? No. However, in this case now we are not using A. It should be P. It should be P. So this one will be P11, P12, because the elements, the matrix itself is matrix P. So what does it fall in? So let's count. What row number is 3? 3 is in row 1, row 2, no, row 3. Yes, so it is in row 3. And it is in what column? This is column 1 and this is column 2. So yes, it is in row 3 and column 2. So that means it is P32, row 3, column 2. What about try for number 0? Yeah, for element 0. Element 0 is what? Is it P subscript what? All right, pause the video now and give it a try. This is the basics of matrix. If we cannot identify the element of a matrix by a given subscript, it will be hard to proceed further. So 0 now, I believe we tried now, is we can see that this is row 2 and this is column 1. So row 2, it is in row 2 and it is in column 1. So we can see that this is 2 subscript 1. So row 2 and column 1. All right, let's try for element number 4. Element number 4 is simply, this is row 1 and column 2. So that is P12. All right, so one final example on this. So we have matrix already quite large. Okay, 6 minus 5, 1 minus 3. All right, don't get lost. Okay, 2 minus 4, 8, 3, and we also have 4 minus 7, minus 6, 5, and in the same vein we have minus 2, 9, 7, minus 1. Now the question here is simple. Okay, what is the dimension? Right, dimension. What is element A24 and what is element A42? Okay, and let's just add element A44. So what is the dimension of this matrix now? You can pause the video now and try. This is our last example for this lesson. So pause and try. The dimension here is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. All right, 4 rows and how many columns? Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, and 4 columns. So it is simply 4 by 4 matrix. Yeah, 4 by 4 matrix. So okay, let's number it. Row 1, row 2, row 3, column 1, column 2, column 3. And A24, that means A24 is in row 2, column 4. All right, the second row, the fourth column, the second row, let's use a different thing. The second row and the fourth column. Wow, and that's simply 3. Okay, so we have 3. Now A42, All right, A42 is in row 4, column 2. Yeah, I believe we got number 3. Okay, so let's check if we got number 3 now. A42, let's use A green now. It is in the 4th row, and oh, column 2 is not column 4, so let's click back, and the second column. So we can see that, oh yes, it's element 9. Now A44, which should be the simplest of all, is in row 4 and column 4. Row 4, column 4. So we can see now, okay, what do we use? Yeah, we can see now that we are in the 4th row and we are going to the 4th column. Amazing. So we have element -1. So this is interesting. All right, really interesting. I believe your matrix, okay, it's one of the simplest topics you'll find in mathematics. So let's proceed on and let's take a look at equal matrices.